Hello, my name is Randy Voepel. I'm a Vietnam veteran. Also, strangely enough, I'm the last Vietnam veteran to serve in the California legislature. All the rest are gone. So, who would have thunk that out of 400,000 in Vietnam when I was there, I would be the last one standing in front of the Vietnam Veteran Memorial for the state of California. California sent more troops of all kinds to Vietnam than any other state, and also the names on the wall speak for themselves. They paid the price. Okay, maggots, here's your briefing. Vietnam was divided into 4 corps. I Corps, 2 Corps, 3 Corps, 4 Corps. That's the way we called them. So, a lot of the action was up in the A Shaw Valley, right off of North Vietnam in a demilitarized zone. Other action, Mekong Delta. This was the Rice Bowl of Southeast Asia. Very, very desirable by the Viet Cong. The Navy, because I was Navy. The riverboats were called Task Force 117. That's the hat I'm wearing. And Task Force 116 was Operation Market Time. These guys were Operation Game Warden. So that's your basic setup. Marines up north, Army throughout. And tremendous amounts of helicopters, equipment. For every soldier or sailor in combat, there was 12 in supply. So most of your Vietnam veterans were supply types. It's only the combat types that really carried the war. So that's your introduction to Vietnam. Who would have figured back in 1970, with almost 500,000 people in Vietnam, I would end up here as the last one. Age 19, this young man, and he looks like he's 40. And that's what war does to you. All right, here we are. One of the most heartbreaking moments that a soldier could have is getting what we called sliced and diced. Lost an arm. Nurse is saving his life, doing IVs, etc. In the Navy, because that's where I was, corpsmen and Marine Corps, corpsmen, they did a tremendous job. If you notice here, the wounded on up. Very, very tough on people. And Vietnam veterans, all veterans that have seen heavy combat, the tape is playing in your head until you die. So you can see why PTSD, etc., can be a problem. Over here, this reminds people of we were there to save lives as much as take lives. We've saved hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese. This is kind of a joke here. Everyone had a short timer calendar, and you would make your calendar counting down when you left Vietnam, and then short. There's dog tags, which I'm still wearing mine. I wore them over and wore them back. They didn't get sent to my mother. Combat infantry badge, I have in the Navy and Marine Corps, it's combat action ribbon. So that's basically on that. And that's self-explanatory. This is one of the most iconic pictures out of the Vietnam War for the Marine Corps. This is a squad of Marines jumping literally out of their helicopter onto the rock pile. And that became the name of the battle. They immediately got surrounded and cut off. They fought until they basically ran out of ammo and threw rocks at the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese. So they were heroes. They were resupplied, they were saved, and most survived, but heavy casualties. Here's another tough job in Vietnam. This is what's known as a tunnel rat. He would go into these little tunnels with a 45, a flashlight, and a gas mask, because we would flood the tunnels ahead of time with tear gas. So they fought in the dark, in the heat, and often booby traps, punji sticks, and venomous snakes. What a job. Whoa. Here's Army guys. Now you gotta remember, and I'll keep saying it, I was Navy. So some of the Army brothers and sisters, you gotta forgive me if I don't explain it exactly correctly, but this is combat. You got one guy throwing a hand grenade, the other guy looking off for movement in the bush. Over here, some of the medals I don't know. Bronze Star. This one here is Medal of Honor. Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry, which I have. Here we are, the soldiers. These guys are humping it through the jungle. And trust me, jungle is jungle. And you had a choice. You could hack your way through or take a trail and risk IEDs. What a deal. So here we are, guys just being guys and gals. These are people in a Jeep. This one looks like it might be an Army nurse, but I'm guessing from the hairdo. This is an ammo and supply dump. These are C rations. Now C rations came in cans, and you had to open them with a P38. This is a can opener, and we called it a John Wayne. And there was, as far as I know, 10 different C rations. There is still one C ration that you can buy in the store today, and it's called Beanie Weenie. The worst C ration, in my opinion, was the eggs, the scrambled eggs, because when you opened the can up, there was a green sheen on the eggs from the can, and that just was not real appetizing. We'd also have our mothers send us Tabasco, Worcestershire sauce, whatever, to try to make these things edible. Here's just a bunch of guys being guys. Whenever you could, you took a break. Also, you ate whatever you could eat. If it made you sick, hey, you got the day off. How cool. Religious services. Trust me, you can get religion real fast out here. And here's a soldier bathing, shall I put it nicely. Looks like either a rice paddy or a stream. Generally, you didn't bathe in rice paddies because they use human waste for fertilizer. So you didn't get a real quality bath there, you know? And this just kind of reminds you that soldiers especially, once again, I was Navy, we had it much easier as far as day-to-day living than the soldiers out in the field. This wall is more like the Navy Air Force wall. What you have is thuds, bombing constantly in the North Vietnam, South Vietnam. This is a Gearing class destroyer with 5-inch 38 guns. And what he's probably doing is either Operation Market Time, which was interdicting goods and ammo being smuggled along the coast, or he's behind this big bad boy. We call them bird farms, the aircraft carrier, doing plane guard. So if an aircraft goes in, they pick up the pilots. This is a POW. We did massive airstrikes by the Air Force and the Navy, and hundreds of pilots, and they're, we call it GIB, guy in back, that's what they call it in the Air Force, Rio in the Navy. They went down with their pilots, got captured. B-52, their missions in South Vietnam was called Arc Light, and when they bombed, all life disappeared in their bomb area. And you could hear and feel the concussion thump in your chest 5 miles away. These are Air Force aircraft doing something, I don't know what. I was Navy again. And this is close to my heart. This is a swift boat, and off the coast and in country, swift boats were all over the place. So were patrol boat rivers, PBR, heavily armed. Now, the drawback is, you notice the rivers are tight most of the time. So the first 12 seconds of an ambush belonged to the enemy. After that, the enemy belonged to us. We were very good. All right, as we wrap this baby up, state of California sent the most of any state to Vietnam. On these walls, there are over 3,000 that gave all. And no matter how good you are, no matter how well trained you are, no matter how dedicated you are, when you're in combat, it's the luck of the draw. I've seen explosions, all sorts of things, rockets, the whole bit. And if you're still there after that, you go, wow, how cool. So that's where we leave it, the regular gear of a soldier. If you were Navy, you wore different things depending upon your job. Air Force, they were awesome. And of course the Marine Corps. And people forget that the Coast Guard was heavily involved in Vietnam, and they took their hits too. Brothers and sisters, hoorah.